Hey, what's going on everyone? Thanks so much for joining us for another camera course video. Last week we talked about 5 reasons why you need a tripod for your photography. But we didn't really touch on how to buy a tripod. So what we're gonna do today is just that. Look at some tips on how to choose a tripod, whether it's your first or whether you're upgrading for your photography. First, I have a little disclaimer. My approach towards buying equipment has always been to buy quality over buying something cheap. I'd much rather save up and buy something that I know I can use for a long time than just save a few bucks. And my goal is not to have you spend $1,000 today, but my goal is that you would find something that will work for you for a long time, that won't just fall apart. And I know how tempting it can be to buy that $15 tripod that you find on Amazon, but I wouldn't really recommend it because it's gonna fall apart or it's gonna suck. Who knows, maybe you'll find the best $15 tripod in the world, and if so, leave a comment down below. But if you're looking for a good tripod, one that's gonna last you a long time, try to follow these tips. So when you're looking for that first tripod, something that you should know is they often come in 2 parts, the legs and the head. But most manufacturers bundle them so that you don't have to choose individually if you don't know what's best for you. So what criteria should you really be looking at when you're trying to pick out a tripod? First, let's take a look at these legs. Now, legs typically come in 2 main materials: aluminum, like this trusty Manfrotto right here, and carbon fiber. Now, they both have their benefits. Aluminum is usually a little more sturdy, but unfortunately it's heavier. And carbon fiber is really known for being lightweight, but it ends up being a lot more expensive typically. So if you go on lots of long hikes with your gear and you want to be able to hike out with your tripod, then carbon fiber might be perfect for you. But if you want to save money or just need something that's really stable, then aluminum is often the way to go. Another consideration for the tripod legs is the type of locking system. So this kind of tripod has these flip locks that flip open, they pull out, and then you lock it, or you flip it open, shorten it, and lock it again. And then there's also twist locks, which twist locks I don't have on this tripod, that they just twist open, slide the pull out, twist it closed, and ultimately it's just a preference thing on what works best for you. Second, you need to determine what kind of tripod head you want. Now, there are multiple different types, but there are 2 main categories when it comes to tripod heads. You have your ball heads and you have your pan tilt head. Now, I've always been a proponent for the ball head because I kind of like that quick and dirty approach to getting the camera set up. I don't want to have to really tweak and perfect everything when I'm getting the photo set up. I want to be able to set my tripod down, get things lined up real quick, lock down that ball, and be shooting. But the pan tilt heads has more adjustments so that you can really fine tune the standing of that tripod. So depending on the type of person you are, if you're very meticulous, that pan tilt might be perfect for you. But if you like to have a really sturdy tripod that you can set up quickly, I usually recommend the ball head. There's a few other things you should consider before purchasing a tripod. Take a look and see what is the load capacity. How much weight can it hold on top of that tripod? How much does that tripod weigh? Is it gonna be an 8-pound, like a heavy duty tripod? Or is it gonna be under 3 pounds and be really great for going on long hikes and trips? How tall does the tripod get? Some tripods can get to a max height of almost 6 feet tall or higher, whereas some of them will be 50 inches or lower. How small does it fold down? Having a tripod that can fold down pretty small is great if you go on airplanes a lot. But if you want to just have a really sturdy tripod, sometimes having it fold down not as short is beneficial. Let me tell you a little bit about the tried and true tripod that I've used for almost 10 years. It's this Manfrotto Tripod. I bought it as a kit many years ago, but it has these 055 X Pro B legs, which I'm not sure they carry that exact model anymore, but they're aluminum legs that are super sturdy, super easy to take apart, which a few times some sand and water has gotten in them and I've been able to take them apart and clean them. But also it carries a heavy weight. It carries almost 20 pounds, I think. And there's also this tripod head. It's the 498 RC2, which I don't think they carry that head anymore as well. I think they made a new one that's better than this, but I'll put a link in the description below to give you some more information on a tripod that would be similar or comparable to this one. Now, the main things that I don't like about this tripod is mainly its weight. It's closer to a 7 or 8 pound tripod all geared out. When you're carrying things for a long time and you don't want to have it on your back or you're carrying it in your hand, it just gets cumbersome. So let's get real practical. I'm going to show you a few specific tripods that you should consider when you're purchasing your first tripod. This video is in no way sponsored by Manfrotto, but I do really like Manfrotto products. They've always been sturdy, have always held up, and I've never had an issue with them. So these tripods are all going to be Manfrotto ones that I recommend. First, let's take a look at the Manfrotto Be-Free Compact Travel Tripod. It's around $170 and holds about 8.8 pounds, but it only weighs 3 pounds. This is a tripod that could really work well for you, especially if you're starting out. It's not a $15 tripod, but it's one that will last for quite a while. Next, we'll take a look at pretty much the replacement of what my tripod is, and that is the Manfrotto 55X Pro 3 with X Pro ball head. This costs about $340, but can hold almost 20 pounds, which is quite a huge increase from the other tripod. And it also gets a little taller, but it is a heavier tripod. Like many products out there, there are hundreds of different options for you to choose from. So hopefully this video gives you some insight into how to go about purchasing that first tripod, that you're not too overwhelmed by the decision, and that you go out there and just start being more creative. Having that tripod will push you to do new things that you haven't been able to do before by just hand holding the camera. Thanks again for joining us at Camera Chorus. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, as we're going to be trying to put out weekly videos, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, guys.